The KSL podcast, Uinta Triangle, has been diving into the deep disappearance of an Australian man into Utah's Uinta Mountains.
Tonight, host Dave Colley shows us how he finally put all the pieces together.
It was very emotional. I remember getting the camera. I just sat there and I looked at them over and over, and it just showed the beautiful remoteness of the Uintas.
Marilyn Coolstra found solace sifting through her late husband's snapshots, recovered with his remains.
One of his signature photos was always propping Ruby, the backpack, against a signpost, and that's on here.
But beyond providing peace, I suspected the photos might hold answers about what had happened to Eric Robinson. Marilyn shared them with me, and in 2023 I set out to retrace Eric's steps.
Following in the footsteps of Eric Robinson.
Not just following the Uinta Highline Trail, but also his photographs.
I've been looking for Eric Robinson's picture from the Yellowstone Basin, and I just found it.
Recreating them one by one. The photos tell the story of Eric's final walk.
Eric should have gone there.
His diversion off the Highline.
He instead went down here.
To the place where he ran into a group of Boy Scouts.
They compared notes, pointing out where they were and where they were each going.
They show his return to the trail and difficulty he faced navigating around sheep and broken signboards.
This is a trail split here. Can you read that? Because I can't.
Eric did not wander lost. He had the tools and the skills to get back on track, and he improvised when he had to.
The final photos from Eric Robinson's camera were taken right here at Dead Horse Lake, just below Dead Horse Pass, the biggest obstacle for any hiker on the Uinta Highline Trail. Eric's photos show when he arrived here in 2011, that pass was draped with steep snow. And I'm just imagining looking at this slope and seeing this snow all the way up to the top and seeing that steep gradient, thinking to himself, I'm not up for this. There's got to be a better way.
The GPS recorded breadcrumbs as Eric left the trail a second time.
Eric Robinson's GPS unit took its last reading here as he was headed toward a low point on this saddle behind me. Dead Horse Pass, which he was meant to cross, was now well behind him.
He ascended this hill, where his journey came to an end.
Eric had come over from the Dead Horse Lake side, following a faint trail. But when he reached this point, there was no more trail to follow. Only sheer cliffs dropping off to the side.
We can only assume he tried to find a safe way down, but instead fell to his death.
When the Summit County Sheriff's Office recovered his remains from the base of these cliffs, right off to my side, they also located something unexpected up here. A rope, webbing, and carabiner attached to some of these rocks.
They asked me if he carried rope because I had not listed that as any of his belongings, and I said definitely not. He didn't carry rope. He didn't climb. He didn't use rope at all.
Eric might have found that rope, placed his life on it, only to have that rope fail in the most spectacular way.
It's hard to know, the conditions and what he was trying to traverse at that time, where he was trying to go, how he got to that point, whether he's above or below.
There are two sets of cliffs below the saddle, and that rope was attached to the uppermost section of cliffs. Eric Robinson's remains were located in a straight line directly below it in this rock field.
And that's probably the piece of the puzzle, whether he tried to use the rope because it was left there by some sloppy climber. He may have, but that's something that we'll never know.
Hear more in the latest episode of Uinta Triangle, free wherever you get your podcasts.